Right, so what we're going to talk about now is driving license exchanges. Now, this is probably the first promotional video really I've done on here, but last year when the agreement was made between the UK and Spain to start exchanging licenses again, I got together with Antonio, because Antonio is a gestor with cars, as well as being an accountant, is a gestor which has access to the DGT. So people who are gestors who have access to the DGT, it means that they do not have to wait for an appointment for certain operations. We are not going to go to the DGT individually for our clients, but we do need to offer the service of exchanging their license. So we got together, we made a plan, we created a service, and I have to say, in the last year, with nearly 200 now, I think we've done.
Yeah, something about that. Hello, everybody.
It's worked really well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been working really well. Has been quite smoothly for people to do this process through you and through with our collaboration, because it's sometimes it's difficult to handle with the driving license in the traffic office. So with this service, is something less stressful for people to do.
Yeah, that was the idea. It was less stress. The idea was, how can we put a service together where the clients have no stress, they literally do not have to move from their house if they don't want to, and they get a driving license through the door. So, as you know, when you're exchanging your license, basically there's some documents that you have to present to the traffic office, and then you have to book an appointment with the traffic office, go to the traffic office, present those documents to them, and then they will send you a new license to your house. But the problem that's happened with a lot of people is they can't get appointments at the traffic office, and it's been made even harder now, because I think it was Almeria, Cadiz, was it Granada or Malaga? Anyway,
Malaga, Granada.
Malaga, Granada.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, it's
it
just
will
Malaga.
Be in a while, probably.
They want you to have a digital certificate to even make an appointment, and there wasn't appointments available anyway. Okay, and then once you get there, obviously, you've got to check you've got the right paperwork. So we can do this submission all for you, and collaborating with Antonio, as I say, we've done nearly 200. We charge for our license exchanges €139, and that basically means that you will get your new license in your hand. Now we're just going to talk about the paperwork that you need. So first of all, what's the paperwork that you need for a driving license exchange?
Well, you need the driving license that you have at the moment from the UK or the country that you have the license. You need to have the residency in Spain, so you need your TI card if you have it, or if you are a European citizen, you will have the green piece of paper of your residency and your passport. And you have to go to your town hall to get a patron certificate as well. And you have to go, very important, to a medical center, a specific medical center for drivers, to get a revision and get the certificado psicotécnico, a medical report saying that you are healthy, and if you have any kind of handicap or problem, they will write it down there with the adaptation or with the limitation that your driving license may have. Basically, that's it. Well, then you have to add a photo, refresh my mind. Anything else?
So you have to have basically the photo, the residency card, patron certificate, copy of your passport, and your driving license.
I think that's it. Some information like for example, for UK citizen, we need the national insurance number and the last postcode they had in the UK, because we have to do an online pre-check before going to the traffic office. And actually, when you get the appointment, I think this is something important to point. When you get the appointment, I found a few cases that they had to go twice to the traffic office, because when they finally find a free slot to get an appointment, which is quite difficult, they fill all the forms, all the fields of the form, and even missing a letter on the surname or in the name, or day wrong in the date of birth or something like that, the check with the DLVI failed. So when they went to the traffic office, they discovered that the check failed, and they have to start the process again from the beginning. So if you do it for your own and you get the appointment, you are lucky to get one from the website, be completely sure to fill everything absolutely correct. Because if you fail,
they don't need that anyway.
Start again.
They don't need that anyway, because what we're going to do...
You won't need if you do
We do this. We've got this service now, so we offer it through Upsticks, and basically what we're going to do is we send you a link to a form. You fill out this form. That form immediately goes to Antonio's database, and at the end of that form you can upload your documents as well. It tells you the information that we need. It gives you a document upload, and we're automatically notified that you are interested in the service. From that point, Antonio's office is going to send you an email, and they're going to ask you a couple of questions, and then we have to arrange to get the documents to them. So that includes your medical certificate as well. We've got an article below which talks about the medical certificate. We can arrange for the documents to either be picked up by a courier. You can either drop them off at where we are now, which is in the Fingerola co-working, where Antonio runs, in our office in Alarín de la Torre, or also in Granada, in Loja. As I say, nationally we use couriers, so there's no need for you to even move if you don't want to. Your documents then go into the traffic office, and then you will receive your license after that. So basically it's...
Well, actually before that they will get a temporary license, which is an important point. If you manage that through the courier, we will collect all the paperwork, and normally in 2 weeks' time, if everything goes well, we will get a temporary license from the traffic office that will enable you to drive. In the meantime, in these 2 weeks, we will send you, if you send in advance your driving license, we will send you a stamped copy of your driving license, because we have to collect the original driving license. We will send you a stamped copy of the driving license that if you haven't been in Spain with this license for more than 6 months, it's still valid for you to drive in Spain in this period of time.
So there you go, you get a temporary license as well until your license comes through. So it's something, as I say, I wanted to get that on the channel because we've been working it really well. It's been a great collaboration. It's been an easy process for our clients. A few things to point out is that licenses which are valid to exchange. Now, if you've got a UK license, that's valid to exchange, but if your UK license comes from a previous license, i.e. you've switched an Australian license maybe to a UK license or from a different country, for that license to be valid for an exchange, the previous license also needs to be valid for exchange. For example, if your previous license was a German one, a European one, and was exchanged for a UK one, because Spain has got an agreement with Germany, that's fine. If your license came from Australia, for example, when it's exchanged for a UK one, then that's not a valid exchange. You would have to take a driving license test here. The other thing to mention is the categories that you get. So if you've got things like HGV, lorries, stuff like that on there, you'll find that, albeit you don't lose these categories in the UK, okay, they stay, don't they, in the UK?
They stay.
But they're not exchangeable for your license here in Spain. So it's very important that when you exchange your license, you get a license in Spain, they'll go up to category CE1, I think it is.
If you exchange an European license, like for example an Irish license, you can exchange all the licenses. Okay. But if it is an UK license, there is a special agreement between Spain and the UK, the new agreement that has been put in place. And with this new agreement, it's only up to C1E, which is a little truck plus a trailer.
And it's very important as well, when you do your medical certificate, that you make sure they include...
That's very important. You have to mention to the medical center to include C1E if you want to exchange all these licenses up to this one. And it is as well very important if you have a bike license for motorbikes, for big motorbikes, I mean the complete one, you have to ask them to put the category A in a separate certificate. This is very important. If you don't do that, the category A won't be exchanged. And if you want to check in your UK license, if you have the category for these big motorbikes, you have to check if you have the type A, and you have to check that you don't have below, in this line, you don't have on the right any code. If there is a code which is, I think, 79 and then between brackets a 3, This means that you can drive big bikes, but only with 3 wheels, not with 2 wheels. So if this is the category that you have, you cannot exchange for the big bikes Spanish driving license. But if you have only A without any comments on the right, then you have the full A license. So then you can exchange it always that you ask for the specific category A on the medical certificate in a separate certificate.
And aside from the cost of our service that we charge for the exchange, how much is a medical certificate normally?
Roughly, normally it's 35-40 euros.
Yeah, 35-40 euros.
Yeah.
When you come to renew your license at the time it expires in Spain, then you actually do the whole renewal at a medical centre. You just go there, get your new medical, and they actually do the renewal at the same time. You'll be charged the certificate plus the DGT fee. But anyway, so we just wanted to get out on the channel that it's a service that we're offering. It's been working absolutely, it's been fabulous. There's just one other point I need to make: problems with addresses. Now, what we do have a problem is with the address, because it's Trafico, the DGT, right? It's actually, the licenses are made with the Fabrica de Moneda.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not quite Trafico. You can explain.
It's not Trafico fault. Even it's not Fabrica de Moneda fault. Normally the problem is the delivery, so it's the post office. There are areas that are more complicated to manage just sometimes because of the shape of the streets or the urbanizations, big urbanization with difficult to find houses, etc. If you have an easy address with a street name, number, and the flat reference, it's almost impossible to get it lost. But if you live in a house in the country or in a big urbanization, for example, near us in Mijas, there is an area that is a little bit complicated to manage. If you don't have an apartado de correos in the post office where you can get the mail easily, sometimes it's difficult to get the license. But what we normally do is to do a first try for the delivering, and if the first try failed, we can do a second request of the driving license to be sent to the traffic office itself. So then we will pick it up there and we will deliver to you through courier or whatever, or you can pick it up on one of our offices. Yeah, one of our offices. So if there is a problem with the delivery, the only thing you have to have is a bit of patience, because first of all, obviously the license has to be issued by it's called the National Mint, basically. Exactly. The same people who make the money and our TIE cards. They then send it out. If it doesn't actually arrive with you, you have to leave it a certain amount of time before you can then order a duplicate. That duplicate's then delivered to Trafico, which then we will pick up and get it to you. But it is important to point that the temporary license that we will get from the traffic office and we will give it to you, it's valid for 6 months. Okay, yeah. So normally it's enough time to sort it out, the delivery problems that may have. And also, once your license is issued, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can still have it on your Mi DGT app. Correct. Yeah. That's another good option. You can download this app, My DGT, and just having that in your phone is enough to drive. If you are stopped by a policeman, you can show that, and that this is officially valid as well. So even if you haven't got your license, but you can get the Mi DGT app, then you can have your license on your phone. So it's been issued and it's flying around Spain and it hasn't landed in your postbox yet. As long as you've got your Mi DGT app, then you're absolutely fine. And even in the worst case that you haven't got your license, that your temporary license is expired and you are not easy to download the app, if you are stopped and you are not bringing anything, just showing your TI card or your identity card, the policeman can check that you have the driving license exchange, which is an important thing, and eventually they can put you a fine of 10 euros, only 10 euros, for not bringing it at the car. But that's it, so it's not something to be worried about. Which I have to say, I have experience with this, because I once went to a running event, believe it or not, in sports gear. You won't believe it to look at me now, would you? And I emptied my wallet and only took my residency card at the time with me, with a little bit of cash, because I didn't want to leave it all there. And then I got stopped by the police on the way home,
and the police, they took my residency card off, they came back and he said to me, like, we realise you've got this and this, but you have to carry it on. Yeah, I'm going to let you off this time, but it should be a €10 fine. So I can say that is a personal experience. Okay, right, cheers for watching, guys. If you are interested in the driving licence service, you don't have to be an Upsticks client doing a visa, though we do offer this service to all of our visa and residency clients. But if you are interested, below we've got an article which explains a bit more about what we've just discussed, and also we've got a form at the bottom that if you can fill in, that will automatically kick off the process, and within about 48 hours you'll get an email to say this is the next step. So there you go, driving licenses exchange made really easy. Thanks for watching.
Bye bye, thanks.